The Supreme Court may have said the gambling machines inside Victoryland Casino are illegal, but at least they can sell alcohol in there. We do have some breaking news out of SYLACAUGA tonight. 2 people are dead and 5 injured after an accident on Alabama 21 in SYLACAUGA. Among the injured were an 11, 7, 6, and 1-year-old. Another adult was hurt. The deceased have been identified as 23-year-old Arely Jacinto and 35-year-old Philemon Reyes Santiago. This accident is still under investigation. And here in Birmingham, police are searching for their own answers in the case of a middle-aged woman who lost her life in the Magic City yesterday. Authorities told us today one person is dead after 2 cars crashed into DeKalb County. State troopers say the accident happened about 4 miles north of Collinsville on I-59 at the 210-mile marker. 43-year-old Miguel Gonzalez died there on the scene. The victim was from Cleveland, Tennessee. The other driver didn't get hurt here. Officials are still working to figure out what happened. Coming up with a very specific plan, some designs that they'll be able to pass along to the contractor. Those, we're told, should be out by the end of the week, but after that, there's going to have to be a review of those plans before they're actually implemented. Well, anybody who takes 280, Mike, during rush hour traffic has gotten stuck at some point. I kind of got stuck coming here to my live shot. Well, the powers that be are trying to change that. Tonight was the first time that we were hearing from the airport authority about those documents that they were compelled to release by a judge. But in those 800 pages, there really was not a whole lot of information, really a whole lot of nothing. You might have noticed I am sitting in a car on 280 and we're not moving. By about 5 that night, this home was on fire once again. Now, I do want to show you something. Take a look at this hole in the roof. This is the kind of damage that was caused by the fire. Now, I ended up finding the person who called officials about this blaze, and he is telling me today that the second fire was actually worse than the first one.
The first fire relatively started in the back of the house. I guess that's where the homeless guy was laying or sleeping. And the second time that evening, I just saw smoke coming from maybe like right there in between the house and the roof.
And you heard right, our eyewitness says there was a homeless man firefighters brought out of this home. Now, when we got to the blaze, the flames were almost out, but the home today is a complete loss. Merritt says this isn't the first time homeless people have come and gone from this home.
I pretty much knew that when I saw the smoke that someone had set it, maybe not purposely, but we do have problems with people going in and out of that house, trying to stay warm.
And that is right. Investigators are still working on what caused the majority of those weekend fires, except for one. Now, I can tell you that while investigators are working to figure this out, they do know that between the months of October and February, they do have more fires, and there are more people trying to stay warm. And how about looking ahead to the future? I mean, the idea is you get married, you hopefully get married once, and this year was one of the best. Absolutely, especially because we have Ani Lindenberg, who's been out of the Schaefer Eisner Crawfish Boil all day, and I think you have a very special guest that we might be hearing from.
A nice warm day today, too.
What do you think about the humidity also?
It's coming back.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's coming back, definitely. So enjoy today, and tomorrow won't be too bad, but by Friday it's going to be back.
Okay, I know what I got to do. Get out the humidity spray.
There you go.
Thank you so much. When you get a chance to kind of mingle with our sports department, mingle with people here, I mean, they love that stuff.
Yeah, it's obviously the sports environment of Birmingham is quite strong.
It is strong.
It is.
And you guys aren't so bad.
We do
most
our
of the
best.
time.
We do our best.
Thank you. I was talking to someone up north, and it was snowing today.
And they
on
said
Mother's
that's
Day.
nice.
I know, they're like, oh, it's not so bad, the sun was out. When the 87-year-old trees came down today, it was a time for the Auburn nation to remember the great heights, like a national championship back in 2010, and also the low points, like the poisoning of the trees by Harvey Updike Jr. Still today, there were tears and also some music. The sounds of the Auburn alma mater filled the air where there's a void left by the 2 poison tumors oaks taken down today. What did you feel today walking around campus?
Somber, I guess, would be the best way to describe it. You know, we've had months to kind of prepare for this, but you know, we never really thought this day would come. We went through so many weeks of thinking that they would be able to revitalize our trees, but sad.
A current student, the youngest of 3 of Auburn University's pride. Her mom and sister, both grads.
Well, I was born while my dad was in vet school at Auburn, and these trees have been here my entire life. So I feel like it was sort of the passing of an era, and earlier today, I think it was said, almost like a funeral, and now you see they're covered in mulch, so it almost looks like a burial ground.
It was definitely a high on Saturday. You know, we had like a record number of people. It was the most rolled I've ever seen it. Toilet paper all over the street. I walked through it, went up to my knees. There was so much toilet paper.
There are definitely more highs to come. In 2014, the university is planting 2 more oaks in what's called an arcing path design.
I think it looks really good, and I mean, a decision had to be made, and obviously not everyone, you know, was going to accept it, but I feel like they did the best they could.
And it's different, you know, but anything's going to be a change from the oaks. You know, these trees have been out here for, 100 years, and people have been rolling the corner for 40 years, so any change is going to be different, but I think the plants are pretty good. It's going to open up this area here and kind of give you some big oak trees to roll going all the way up to Sanford.
I believe in honesty and truthfulness.
The sound of tiger pride shows the spirit of the Auburn nation cannot be broken. And when the Auburn nation does it, they do it big. This last Saturday, they rolled the trees one last time after a record crowd at Jordan-Hare of more than 83,000. Prescription drug abuse in the U.S. is alarmingly high. The drop-off was free and anonymous. Absolutely no questions asked. Well, this is certainly my favorite part of the newscast. You guessed it, Council Extra for you, my friends. This Tuesday, possibly more than $1 million worth of money swapping. The Birmingham City Council could decide to take some capital out of the Apple Valley Rec project, and that dough would then go elsewhere in these 87-year-old trees that were removed today. We have someone right now who is a student at the university. Katie Cornwell, come on in here.
Hello.
Thank you so much for talking with us today.
Oh, no problem.
So what is your first reaction to the trees that have come down?
It's a really sad feeling. I don't think you really understand exactly what it feels like until you experience it, and after you have rolled the trees, and I've been here for 2 years now, so I definitely feel like the impact is with me for sure.
And there were some wonderful moments, some great highs.
Yes.
And also some great lows.
Yes.
When the trees were poisoned. Talk to me about that roller coaster of emotions.
I can't even explain exactly what it felt like. It was like someone just took a piece of history and just completely demolished it and wasn't caring about anyone else's feelings. And I just know, as the Auburn family, we really look to those trees like as a great tradition, and it's something that we're all really going to miss. But I think they have a great plan for the future, so we're excited to see what that's about.
And that's absolutely right, Katie. There is a great plan for the future, and we'll be talking about that coming up at 6 o'clock tonight. So stay with Alabama's 13 News for the best coverage in town on this historic day.